Afternoon all. Happy Sunday. Hope you can have a nice Sunday lunch. I'm not. But anyway, that's why I thought I'd do a show instead. Welcome to the Bobby Moore Stand. We've got a big show. We've got lots to talk about for the next hour. We should also be joined at some point by Alex from TikTok. You'll know him if you do TikTok. Chris, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right, thank you. All right, thank you, mate. Yeah, all good for a Sunday. Yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right. Busy. Very busy at the moment, but like it is most weekends. Yeah, like it is most weekends. Not enough time in the day, to be fair.
No, not at all. So before we start, because we're going to jump straight into it and get on, or we never finish, please subscribe to the channel, the Bobby Moore Stand, here on YouTube, or follow on Spotify or wherever you watch us. We're on multiple platforms, TikTok, X, you name it. Give the video a like, hit the bell notification icon. That would be amazing if you could do that. And don't forget to leave a comment as well, because we'll respond to most of them when we get time. Usually make time. First of all, a few bits of news. Simple news to get through. First of all, I don't think my speculation about Thomas Fulkrug being in Oktoberfest is it hasn't been ruled out yet, because he's having a slow scan. They're still waiting for his scan results, Chris. Now, is the evidence building on this one?
It's a strange one. It's a strange one, isn't it? I know he was at the training ground, wasn't he? I think on Friday.
Yeah,
I don't know. At the end of the day, he's ruled out. He's not fit. So as far as I'm concerned, I've forgotten about him. And I'm only really focused on the players that actually are fit and ready to play for us.
Talking of that, Thomas Souček returns, but does he return to the team? What do you reckon?
I don't think he does. Personal opinion, I don't think he does. I don't think Nuno should be changing it up much. I really don't.
No?
No, I don't. I think that despite the fact that we lost against Arsenal, I thought it was a better display. I think if that was under Potter, we would have lost that game by a hell of a lot more. Defensively, we looked a lot more solid. No, I mean, are you going to take out Magassa or Fernandez to accommodate Souček? No, I don't think you do that. So I think we need to stick with what we've got for the time being, and he needs to kind of earn the right to get back into that team. Maybe he comes as an impact sub, a bit of a box crusher, something like that. He could be useful, but I don't think he should be starting the game, mate. What do you reckon?
Well, it has been said to me on various comments that maybe he could play as a striker, but I don't see that, because he can't play as a striker. He's a box crasher. He doesn't know how to play the role as a striker. We've tried it before, haven't we?
I don't see that. I mean, I saw some comments as well about playing Souček up front, and no. I mean, look, what we playing him up front for is ability to actually win balls in the air, aerially. He's decent in the air. I mean, other than that, he's not someone that's going to get running in behind. He's not going to be someone that's going to be running into the channels and making space, is he? He's not that type of player. So he's got no pace. So I'm just trying to think how that is actually even going to work for us. We've seen it before, like you said, and no, not for me. Definitely not for me.
All right, so Chris, I'm not going to keep an eye on the comments. We're going to go through this very busy agenda. So can you go through and sort of starter stuff that you want to share?
Yeah.
So let's get on with the show proper now. So the boycott is going ahead, going very, very well. Club are very worried about it. They're still sending it. Even today, I received a reminder about me Brentford ticket, or was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Listing it. I haven't, so I've got 4. They'll be free. So yeah, we've covered this before. I think everybody on the channel is supporting the boycott, including Alex if he gets here. It's for another channel. So there are a number of people. Alex made a really good video about how he goes to, he's been to pretty much every home game. He's missed about 5 in 14 years. I think there was a point in time when that was about, I think if you take that on average, I've probably missed about the same in terms of rate since I've had a season ticket. It has to be an exceptional reason to not go, right? And I think you look at it the same way, don't you, Chris?
I do, and the truth be told, mate, the last week I've kind of turned myself off of various social media to an extent, because I was getting a bit fed up with reading some of the negativity around it. I made my decision. I've made my thoughts around this pretty clear, and I don't like the divide in some respects either. So, look, for me, I had to kind of switch off from it. I can't get myself on X Gal. I'm an X, but I don't really read it a great deal. It's just
I wouldn't recommend it. I would not recommend it, because
I don't know how you do it, mate. I don't know how you do it.
I know. Alex has just arrived, so let's bring him in and then we'll just continue. Afternoon, Alex. How you doing?
Afternoon. I'm okay, thank you. How are you guys?
Yeah, good. It's good to see that you're making like Chris and arriving late. So always good to see.
Never
I
late.
had to run a few errands this morning, and I had to make the kids lunch, and now they're quietly eating, and hopefully they will remain quiet, so we can get through this.
If they don't, it don't matter. So, so look, let's just introduce you properly. So Alex has got a very, very big TikTok following over on the West Ham community on TikTok. Makes some really, really good content. Do you want to say anything about what you do?
I just speak West Ham, you know. Match reviews, talking about the games, injuries. Obviously, at the moment, the big talking point is the boycott, the protest, the ownership, and season ticket holder for going on. It's my 14th season now as a season ticket holder. I just love talking about West Ham. So anything West Ham related, that's what I chat about. Really.
Well, we've started through the agenda, and we got to talking about the boycott, and I mentioned the video that you made, which was really good, actually, really, really well received, because I'm in a similar boat, and I know Chris is as well. We all want to go to this game, right? We all want to go to this game, but we're just making a one-off sacrifice to not go. Sorry, I had this morning a message, an emergency message, a last-minute message from Bubbles, Paul Colburn, and this is about my old neighbour in the Bobby Moore stand, who in the old ground, who watches the shows. Last saw him at the first protest, and I know he is an absolute die-hard fan, will not miss a game for love nor money. So this really put him in a dilemma. But Paul said this morning that Bill Gardner he's thought long and hard about it. He's going to be boycotting.
Wow.
So it's amazing news.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of fans that are in that dilemma at the moment. I know a few season ticket holders, and a couple of them are like, "Yeah, I'm going to boycott," and a couple of them like, "No, I'm not going to. I just want to be there." I understand. Yeah. They all say they understand why we're doing it and they support us, but they want to be at the game. And I don't judge anyone for making up their own minds on this. You know, if you want to go to the game and support the team, that's great. But you know, for some of us, it just feels like we want to make a point, and boycotting the game is one way of doing that.
Well, I think it's about creating change, isn't it, Chris? And I mean, this is probably the first time we've had what looks like a very good chance to push change at this club before it's too late.
Yeah, no, like, I think for me it's a necessity, right? It's not an easy decision to make, bowl accounts, because we all go to games week in, week out, whether it's home, away, and I think to not go to a game, and particularly when I go with my son as well, right? It's a big thing, but there's a bigger agenda, there's a bigger meaning behind this boycott, and for me, we need to unite as a fan base, and we need to kind of stand up and be counted on this, because long term, this is not sustainable anymore for West Ham. It's not. You can look at it on a short-term basis and think, right, I'm going to turn up for Nuno's game and everything like that, but it's irrelevant. It's not the fact that it's Nuno's first game at home. It's got nothing to do with that. We fully support the team, we fully support the players, but we don't support the board, and this is what it all comes down to for me. So, yeah, it's I say it's tough. It's not really that tough when I think about it. Actually, it's not. But like I say, even I will turn up for game. Even though I know we're going to get pumped in some games, I'll turn up. But I just think
I'm still struggling with your decision to go up to Liverpool in that cup game in midweek just before Christmas, knowing full well we're going to get fucking mullered.
Yeah, but that was at the time when I used to be really optimistic, Gal. But then I did the same thing again the following season and got another pump, another 5-1 defeat. So
you'll never learn.
Do we ever learn, though, as West Ham fans, mate? Do we ever?
No. I think the standard makeup of West Ham fan must include an element of optimism. Surely, I mean, why wouldn't it? Why would you do this otherwise? Did you see what Nuno said? Because I think he sidestepped it pretty well. I mean, he's had better media training than Graham Potter, that's for sure. So
no, I don't think I heard the exact thing that he said. Was this in his press conference?
It was in his press conference. And
I haven't watched it in full, but I'd seen clips. But I'm not sure if I've seen the bit you're talking about.
They went on to it and said about the protests, about the fans protesting against the board. And he came out and basically said, and this explains the lack of hostage videos, because we usually have the hostage videos where the players are begging fans to come. That that happened before. There have been none of them, and that's, I assume, to do with his answer. He said, "Me and the players decide not to get involved in this. We keep away from it."
Yeah,
which is exactly the right answer.
Yeah, I think their sole concentration has to be on playing football. What is going on outside of that may be a distraction to them, but his focus has got to be on the game, and I think that's the correct answer. He can't be seen to be taking sides. If he backs the board, then he's screwed. If he backs us, then he's screwed. It was the very diplomatic and correct answer. He's just got to focus on what we're doing on the pitch and let us worry about what we want to see, what change we want to see happen above him.
Yeah. I think that's right. And if you look at what's happened in the media this week, I think TalkSport have been back on their high horse. First of all, with Simon Jordan acting the arse with Dan Lawless. I mean, it was it was honestly, when he's in one of those moods, it can be anyone sitting opposite him, to be honest. He was just gonna laugh all the way through it and goad, and that's what he did. But then it's been kind of used. They've referred back to it on future TalkSport shows. And today yesterday you had Troy Deaney on there saying about, all the usual nonsense about, they all chased Moyes out of West Ham. Pretty much they got what they deserved. I find it irritating that this kind of narrative is making a comeback, but only on TalkSport. And obviously the Simon Jordan one was enabled by Jim White.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very tired take, that Moyes argument now. I've been over it a million times. I just try and ignore it now, because it's just coming from people who are either just trying to irritate us for no reason, or they still just do not understand the situation that we were in at the time. TalkSport just love to cause controversy, though, especially someone like Simon Jordan. He knows exactly what to say to get people riled up, and that is his job. So he was going to do whatever he could to roll Dan up. I thought Dan handled himself really well.
I think he did, yeah. I think he did under that sort of sustained attack. I think he held his cool really well. I think why has nobody ever questioned Simon Jordan's capability as a football club owner?
I think that's an argument that someone's got to be very, very, very.
You'd have to do your research. You'd have to do your research. You'd have to have your numbers in front of you, right? Yeah.
He's very quick, Simon Jordan. I mean, he's going to have an answer for everything. He speaks at 1,000,000 miles an hour. He's very articulate, and he's got an argument and a reason for everything. So I think you'd need to be very switched on to have a debate with him for sure.
You need to be on top of your numbers, on top of your facts. Absolutely, it needs to be in your mind, instant recall. But I do remember once Mike Parry, who was on TalkSport, he told this story when he was running Crystal Palace. Simon Jordan. I used to listen to them, Brazil and Parry, in the morning, because back then I found them funny, right? Not so much now. But this made me laugh, because Mike Parry said he said something on TalkSport. They went to watch a game, him and Alan Brazil, at Crystal Palace, and then they were summoned to the boardroom to meet with, who was basically acting like a mafia boss in Simon Jordan. And they came in, they weren't allowed to sit down, and he started this tirade of, "You come into my house after saying that stuff on thing," and it was just like, big bouncers behind him and everything else. He did a lot of things wrong at that club. I'd like to dig into it. I think I'm going to.
I think you need to get on there, Gal. You need to get on there with your numbers and have a debate. Have a good debate. I'd love to see that.
Yeah. Look, and again, I think Dan was in the unfortunate position as well that it was the second time with Simon Jordan, and he'd done a good job on him the first time, and so Simon was out for a little bit of afters. Yeah. He weren't going to let that happen twice, was he?
You could see he got petty, right? When he's saying things like, your little old club and all this kind of stuff. There's no, that's just being nasty. There's no need for that, right? I mean,
that's designed to rile you. That's designed just to rile you. So, yeah. I mean, but
that goes to show that he got on his nerves a little bit. The fact that he had to come out with that, right? He has to stoop that low to disrespect West Ham in terms of the size of the club. It just goes to show the measure of the man for me.
100%.
And he also completely misunderstood what Dan was saying.
Yeah.
He asked Dan, they asked Dan, like, what do you want? And he said what he wanted. He never at one point said that it was a realistic possibility that a new owner was going to come in and build us a new stadium. He just said, that is what I would like to happen. And I think that's what we would all like to happen, but we all realise that realistically, that is something that is very unlikely to happen, but not impossible.
No.
And I think Simon kind of missed that point, and he probably did miss it on purpose as well.
Of course he did.
Just to try and ride it out.
But his numbers were well off, though, Alex, as well. His numbers were way off, right? I mean, he's talking about 3 billion for rebuild and all this kind of stuff. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, if you're building a Tottenham Hotspur stadium again, then maybe where you've got, 2 pitches, one that removes, you've got go-kart underneath and all this, then I mean, you could be looking at costs like that. But if you're looking to build something that's not as advanced and is not as high tech, I mean, you're still talking in the billions. I think you're probably talking, but at least $1 billion, 1.5, especially material costs, building in London, things like that. All these things do add up, and it is very expensive. But no,
that's the killer, though.
That,
Land cost is the killer. Materials are the killer. The only way to do it would presumably be to own the land and to build on a patch of it. But then again, you've got the construction costs, you've got everything. It's enormous. But
you've also got the cost of trying to get out of the existing lease. That we're in, because that will probably cost a fair bit as well.
There's a few different ways to do this, and I was having a chat with and this brings me on to my next little link. Dad's Our Job TV podcast. He had a very, very popular, because we started talking about this the other night about what you could do with that stadium. And we were talking about to make the sound, the noise stay in, to make it a little bit smaller, a little bit more intimate, bringing seats close to the pitch. And it all relies on getting rid of that silly athletics legacy. But from just a simple AI aesthetics point of view, you can actually see, let me share with you, if I can work out how to share on bloody StreamYard, right? Let me share with you this little 30-second video from Dad's Our Job TV. Adam on there. He actually knows. I am in with him today, and he knows quite a lot of stuff. So I think he would be actually a really good person to get on and have an informed conversation about that.
Yeah, I had a chat with Adam on his YouTube channel not last week before, about this exact thing. So
I think here we go. Now, sound doesn't matter on this. There is no real commentary, so it's just music. You notice what they did there as well. What he did there is he put seats over where the scoreboards are, because that is a big waste of space, isn't it?
That has been the biggest irritation for me personally. Every single time I go to the stadium, I look at those big empty white spaces. I look at that bloody beer garden sitting there, thinking that is just such a wasted space.
Don't start Chris on that.
I sit on the upper tier, just above the dugout. And above the director boxes, and there's a huge gap in front of them as well, and that annoys me. There's so much more space.
You know why that is
with seats,
but you know why that is?
Because it retracts.
It doesn't retract. They're basically seats that are just bolted to scaffolding on top of the other seats. So the reason the gap there is because you've got seats underneath, and then you put another set of seats on top. So you end up with a gap because you can't go all the way back with that upper row of seats. Otherwise, it would overlap the upper tier, right? So the only solution to get permanent seating in there would be some significant engineering effort to actually, you've got to get rid of the athletics legacy. You've got to pull up the track. You've got to get rid of all the scaffolding and extra seats. And you've got to tear out the actual bottom row of seats and build it properly and bring it closer to the pitch. There's
only one stand, and that's the one opposite the dugout that never moves. That is a permanent.
Right.
All the others do move, and that is why those gaps are there. above either end and below the director's box, because those seats do move back.
Yes.
I was lucky enough to be invited to the London Stadium over the summer, and I was invited there twice by the people who run the tours. And the first time they invited me there, it was in athletics mode, so I got to see where the seats were. And then a couple of weeks later, I went back when they'd moved it all back. And you do see the difference in how much closer, like, the seats are to the pitch compared to athletics mode, but they still need to be closer. It needs to be leveled off, straightened out. And I'm not against seats being movable, but long as when they're in football mode, they're in a decent position for everyone, and they're also able to provide seating in those empty areas to provide. So there's not so many empty gaps, because I think when it comes to the sound, when you've got those big empty spaces, that is so much space where the sound can escape.
It dissipates.
So that doesn't help.
No,
it doesn't help to help create an atmosphere.
So this was my idea the other day. Is first of all, get rid of the athletics legacy, rebuild that lower tier, bring all seats on all sides, permanent seating round to the edge of the pitch, and actually just destroy the back 10 rows of the stand all the way round. The back 10 rows, remove all those seats. It'd bring the capacity down. You'd gain more through going closer to the pitch. You'd lose some up the top there. Probably balance itself out. You end up with about 55,000, which would be fine for us. And then you could put some kind of acoustic reflective material behind the back seats, and you naturally just make it a smaller bowl, right? It's more intimate all at once.
Yeah. I mean, that is an idea. And you could also. I'm not against making it that little bit smaller, so you do have more. So you do maybe have less seats, but I don't think you would gain a lot of seats by filling in those big gaps as well. You'd probably gain a couple of thousand. So the loss may not be as great as 10.
It might end up being bigger. It might end up being bigger, right? If you take those screens out, those dirty, great big screens, and put seats all the way back there, and you take seats in the lower tier all the way to the edge of the pitch. For a start, you can link up the whole lower tier all the way around. So you'd have corners, which you haven't got at the moment, right? You've just got you got a gap in each corner. I mean, they drive the little disappointment, the vehicle of disappointment. You know, the one that drives out to collect a player on a stretcher to see. Is it my time? Is it my time? No, sorry, mate. He's getting up, and they turn around really sadly and go back down the tunnel. Yeah.
I used to call that Andy Carroll's personal escort. Every time you say, "Oh, look, it's ready to take Andy," there.
It's like once a year. Once a year, they come out and they actually get onto the pitch. Must make the day. So, predictably, Troy Deaney was an idiot talking about fans. Come out with all the usual stuff, usual attack lines. Unexpectedly, Don Hutchison came out and suggested the board should sell because they've not got the best interest of the club at heart. Now, I'm in a dilemma now because I was completely against Don. I had a falling out with him in my last incarnation on Twitter. It was a long time ago, when I was on the Claret Booze and everything else. But he really was a bit of a conceited tit. But he's coming around now. He's growing on me, Don. Has he said anything else nice about us lately?
I'll be honest with you. I haven't heard a huge amount from him, to be honest with you. Not since he left West Ham all those years ago. I mean, I've seen him like little posts here and there, but I haven't heard a huge much about it. I haven't listened to much of the stuff he said, or I don't remember anything off the top of my head. I've seen a few players come out and support the protest and support us wanting the board out, but it's not as easy for some. It's easier for some players than it is others.
So many of them are employed by the club as well, right? I mean, this is the thing. I've been talking to a few, and I think they're very cautious about what they feel they can say and what they actually believe is true, right? So I'm sure they have a very different opinion on what they can publicly put out there because of the fact that they are part of the club. It's as simple as that.
Oh, his broadband's gone. So I think Chris, when you're looking at what's happening here, we've got protest 3 and 4 coming up after this. So the boycott is just event number 2. We've got number 3 and 4 planned. 5 and 6 will be planned as well. Broadband issues in Deepest Essex.
Sorry, my
that's all right.
stream just reset. for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah,
It just
Happens to me
refreshed
all
my,
the time, mate. Happens to me all the time,
refreshed my
to be
screen.
fair.
I'm usually the last one standing in here. You
If
know
we're
what
not
I mean?
scary.
Yeah,
We just get to the point where we're fed up with Gary talking, so we just leave every now and again, just to, just to relax.
very common. It's very common. I can't make any excuses for that. So, process 3 and 4 coming up. Whatever you're doing for the Brentford game, if you're doing something nice, like going to Black Lion or going to another pub or something like that, don't forget put it out there on social media. Fill up X and TikTok and stuff like that, Facebook, whatever your choice of platform, whatever your poison is, get it out there, because we need to show that people, regular season ticket holders are not in that ground.
Also, if there's a good atmosphere, take some videos, post it up, and say
Yes.
we are still supporting. We may not be at the ground, but we're still supporting.
Exactly.
That's some of the comments that I've seen the most. So people say, "Well, you're not supporting the team," which I think is just a ridiculous take, because I don't get to go to many away games. Am I not supporting the team when I'm watching them on telly? There's no difference, really.
It isn't. Have you had the thing where people say you're the problem, you're the reason Sullivan's still here because you renewed your season tickets?
Oh, that just drives me nuts, mate.
Honestly,
when people say that, it really is. But typically speaking, it's the people that actually don't go to games that say this stuff, right? They don't. They haven't got a fucking clue. Sorry, they just don't have a clue when they say things like that.
I wish I'd have kept track of who I blocked last time on it, because now I've created a new account. I have to re-block the same people again. So just insulting me the same.
Mate, I read some of your tweets like last night. I think it was you going backwards and forwards, and I was like, honestly, mate, I don't know why you want it. I would take myself off of.
I know that's the problem with it. It's addictive, especially late at night when you read something. You think, as I was arguing with Nigel last night. Well, not arguing really, but having a discussion. Let's put it like that. Call it arguing. But let's talk about the game. We're gonna raise the mood a little bit in a minute. But let's before we do that, Gal, let me address some of the comments as well, right? Yeah,
because I don't want to kind of go back to this later, right? So I think you might have stored some of this as well. Alex Crick on Talk Shite saying Boycott should not go ahead because it's Nuno's first game. Look, we've already kind of addressed this stuff before, haven't we? This is far deeper than being Nuno's first game. There's no doubt about that.
Your turn on the bottom, Chris. Your turn on the bottom. It was my turn the other day.
Yeah, I made a video about that last night. Where people were saying you shouldn't go because it is Nuno's first game. But I said, well, one, the boycott was planned before Nuno was even manager. So
don't underestimate Nuno either. He's a grown-up, right? He knows how these things work.
Yeah, it makes no difference. It makes no difference, right? Because we've had 2 home wins all year round. So if they're going to start using that as an excuse as to why we may not get a result, hypothetically, on Monday, it's a load of BS, basically. Because if anything, it might take the shackles off the players a little bit, because maybe they feel less pressure because the stadium's more empty. I'm not having that as an excuse thrown at us as fans, because it's out of order. It is. We fully support the team, and I think we've been very vocal about this as well.
I fully support the team, and I actually go as far to say that I think it's even more important that we do continue with the boycott, because if we suddenly decided, no, we're not going to boycott because it is Nuno's first game, the board would absolutely see that as a win. They would see that as a win, and because we are continuing with this boycott, more people will be talking about it. More people in the media, the board will be thinking more about it, because we are boycotting, even though it is Nuno's first game. Absolutely. It just shows how serious we are about this 100%. And how serious we want to see change.
Yeah, you can't appease the fans just by bringing in a new manager, right? The cracks are still there, and I think this is evident of the fact the cracks are still there by us boycotting the game. It is really that simple for me.
If we turned up, we would be fools to ourselves, because the greatest thing they always say it, Sullivan, Sean, everybody else, what they say is we're a fickle bunch of fans, and as long as it's going well on the pitch, we'll be fine. We need to prove that wrong. And what I'd like to see is, if this season takes a massive uptick, like we hope it does, and we hope Nuno starts flying and the team start slamming in goals left, right, and centre, well, in that dreamland, if that happened, I like to think the protest would still build and build and build, and I'm sure it will. And that makes the protest twice, 3 times, 4 times as valuable as it would when things are bad.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, no, I agree. So what's Kirk saying? Our results improved in lockdown with no fan. Yeah, exactly what we're saying. So I'm not going to use that as an excuse. Absolutely not. And I actually think that we will get something. I've kind of changed my mind on this guy about Monday. I don't think.
No, you made your prediction. Sorry.
No. Hold up. My prediction was I said 5 points out of the next 5 games. So that does also include Brentford potentially beating us beating Brentford on Monday as well. Anyway,
Alex went for 8. Yeah, you went for 8. I went for 10. Because
10.
we're
Wow.
beating Leeds at their place. That's what I went for.
Wow.
I'm not sure if
okay.
we're beating Leeds. I think we'll beat Brentford. I think
Yeah.
we'll draw against Leeds and Newcastle. I think we'll beat Burnley.
I think the Brentford and the Burnley one. I think they're well, not given, never a given against Brentford. I think
You can't
Burnley
say given, mate. You can't say given against Brentford.
no, a draw at home's nothing is a given.
You can't say a given in the Premier League. Let's be honest there.
We
There's no
can't with West Ham. We're the most unpredictable bloody. I've literally got every prediction wrong this year apart from one. It's mad.
It's because you're too optimistic, mate. That's the problem. That's the problem. You know?
That is the problem because I don't like predicting we're going to lose. I don't like doing it. It feels.
I don't like doing it, but sometimes you've got to be realistic, right? And you see what's in front of you, you see what's going on with the club and everything else, and you think, well, look, realistically, we're going to get something out of this. And honestly, I think for most games this season, I didn't predict that we'd get tonked by Sunderland first game of the season. No. That's the only one. I think most of them since then I've got pretty accurate. I have, and it's not me being overly negative. I think it's me being realistic and not even pessimistic. That's what I think. Anyway, what's David saying? I was talking about the. Hold up, Gal. Let me just go through these comments. Hold up. Right. I was talking about the boycott. I just feel like I can't moan and not do anything about it. So I'm boycotting 100%. And I think that's it, right? It's about doing something. Doing something could achieve something, right? So I get that.
Be a part of it. Look back and say you were a part of it.
I have noticed as well, to your point, Alex, a lot more people are actually choosing to boycott this now. I've seen kind of a bit more momentum over the course of the last week. People that I didn't necessarily expect would, that are now publicly putting out there they're not going to go to that game, which is great, right? And certain people that are quite prevalent on social media as well and do have a good following. So it is good. I see Johnny K on TikTok as well, goes to all the home and away games. He's also boycotting that game. And it's great because he's got a lot of influence as well. He's also been involved with the club, and I think he's done. I mean, honestly, a lot of this stuff has actually kind of backfired on him a little bit. He doesn't care because he cares about the club. That's what it's all about, right?
No, that's the big thing with Johnny. He's been very anti-balled over the last 6 months or so. And I remember when he did the interview with Somerville when he joined, and he was doing stuff with the club. And I have no doubt that those ties have been cut now because he is not supporting the board. And there are some people that I have met who make West Ham content who avoid talking about this because they do want to have a relationship with the club for their own careers. And that's fine. But privately, they totally back what we're doing, but just publicly, they don't come out and say it. So
but it's great when they publicly do put it out there, though. It's great when they publicly put it out there. And I think you're right, because I think I spoke to Johnny at the Forest game and Forest away, and I'm pretty sure that he said it's impacted, a lot of what was coming to him through the club now. But he cares about the club. He cares about the club, and I think that's the most important thing. It really is. Yeah. Darren Turner had a ticket office call on Friday offering a parking space. Is that true? Unbelievable if it is. I mean, Christ, have you had that, Gal? I've not had that one yet. I'll have to wait.
What was that? Sorry, I'd offer me a parking space. No, even the directors are not going.
That's unreal, isn't it?
Boycotting.
Hey, that may sway me. That may sway me.
Yeah, definitely not me. Why does anyone care about what Jordan says? Actually, you know what? I don't. And I do find it infuriating and frustrating sometimes when I do listen and watch him. So I choose not to. It's as simple as that.
It's tabloid radio. It's shock jockeying. It's just trying to get people angry to call in. That's all it is.
But you do, you know what? In fairness to TalkSport, you do get the odd person on there that does come out there and speak sense sometimes. Rory Jennings is one of them. Yeah, I mean, he came out, and to be fair to the guy, he hit the nail on the head with that. He did. He absolutely hit the nail on the head. He seems to get West Ham a little bit, doesn't he? I mean, he talks a lot of nonsense, but when it comes to West Ham, he does sometimes talk some sense, unbelievably.
I think that was one of the first things I've ever agreed with him on. Ever.
I think Cundy as well. Cundy, I think it was him, not the other one, got it bang on when he said, across the Premier League, West Ham are unique in that their owners have no idea what their fans actually expect and want.
Yeah, no, I remember him saying that. I think there are some people that do get it. There's some people that don't get it, and there's some people that just don't care, and they just want to wind people up and get views. And
I like the way he said it, though. I like the way he framed it, where he said, "Don't get me wrong. I don't want West Ham to be good. I just want them to be there."
Yeah, I want them to exist. West Ham is the Premier League is better with West Ham in it. Totally agree.
Darren's saying you need mountaineering gear to get to those back seats. I've said this the other day. Honestly, I don't know how people enjoy. Well, it's hard enough to enjoy football when you're even close to the pitch like me. Let alone, God knows how high up and behind, far away from the pitch that you are. It's like must be like watching ants running around on a postage stamp. But yeah, you do. I mean, honestly, it's so high up. And finally,
is it as high as Newcastle?
Oh, it's higher. It's higher. I mean, yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. Alex, you might have a point there. I don't know if it's as high as Newcastle, but the view is actually better because you're still closer to the pitch at Newcastle.
Yeah, I think
I've sat right at the back at Newcastle, and it still felt better to me. So
yeah.
What I'd love to see someone do at some point is do that angle, because I think the angle of the seats makes it feel like you're a lot further away. But there are some stadiums, like St James's Park and the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, where their angle is, it's a lot steeper.
Yeah.
And I just wonder, are those seats actually closer, or they just feel closer because they're just higher and it's steeper? But if you put them at the same gradient as the London Stadium, would they be as far away?
I think the London Stadium ones, because the rake is so shallow, the distance is much further to the back row.
I think so.
I don't know how many. Compare the stairs. There's a lot of stairs at Newcastle, that's for sure. Seems to go on forever, doesn't it? But then again, you take that little single row of steps up to the back of the stadium at our place. It's a long way. It's a long way, and it does look like you're watching the game on telly. The pitch is like down there in the middle. It's horrible.
I've never actually been at the. To be fair, I've never been at the top of our stadium. I've not actually seen the view. I don't know, to be honest. I don't. But all I can say is, I said the other day, I sit in row 2. When I look back and I try and see if I can see anyone at the back, I can't. And I just wonder what they're looking at, because they're looking at it from an angle where they're even further away, than what I am, because they're looking at players on the pitch. So it's. I don't know. I don't see how that's enjoyable. I don't.
Yeah. I did sit at the top once, in the very far corner once, and that was the first ever West Ham game there. The Europa League qualifier game that we played there. I got a ticket, and it was right up in the gods. And this is when there was green around the pitch, and the seats were even further away from the pitch back then. When we first moved in.
I did as well, actually. I saw the West Ham Juventus game, I think. I don't know if that was the first one, but I saw the Juve game there, and that was right at the back. That was awful. That was really
bad. Was friendly, that pre-season friendly, the Betway Cup, wasn't it? Where Zaza played.
Yeah, I think we lost that game. I think Andy Carroll scored a couple, if memory serves me right. But yeah, I did sit that quite far back in that, and I was thinking, shit, this is bad. This is not good. Yeah. Maybe time it will change, but it hasn't. So,
Well, before I managed to get relocated into the Bobby Moore lower again, because I was shoved upstairs because they wouldn't let us all stay together, I was like probably 10, 15 rows back in the corner between the Billy Bonds and the Bobby Moore as it is now. Not that we've got stands, we've got a bowl, but that's kind of where it was. And that was far enough away. It was a terrible view. But I thought one day I'd just walk all the way up, and because it was still quite a way back further, right? Walked all the way up just to see what it was like. It was bloody horrible. Bloody horrible. I wouldn't go if I had to sit there, put it like that.
So I just see this from Gav. I didn't even realise the profile picture. Fantastic, Gav, by the way. Chris, we can walk up to top tier and take a look for the. But no,
Gav.
I've got bad knees, Gav. I can't be doing that. No. I'm just gonna. Yeah. I'll give that one
out again. That's a no. That's a no. By the way, let's move on. While we're talking protest, let's just finish off with saying a bit cheerful. Release the clowns. Every circus needs clowns. Hashtag no more BS. So that's Martin's artwork. Beautifully put together, Martin. And that's what I'd like a game in the future to look like at the London Stadium. I think
we just all dress up as clowns.
Well, I think we need somebody. Rex, one of the viewers, said it the other week. If you go into a circus, you should be a clown, really. Every circus needs clowns. And I think to make it impactful, because you can't rely on everybody to go on Amazon and pay a tenner for a clown costume. To make it impactful, you need, I reckon, at least 40 or 50 clowns. And there's got to be a clown meeting point, probably the other side of the bridge. So we can get a congregation of crowds, a gaggle of clowns, right? And get them to walk slowly towards the ground, to go through security. Be interesting if security tried to stop anyone wearing a clown costume. They could get that. Could be interesting. Yeah, it could be interesting. If 50 turn up at once, it'd be interesting. So, let's aim for 50. Let's aim for more. Let's aim for more than 50. But what I'd like to think, because I sit downstairs in my new posh seats, I'm 7 rows back, almost within touching distance of the away manager, who gets a lot of camera time. And I'm just wondering, it's just you're above Sullivan, I'm below Sullivan down the bottom there. I'm just wondering if I was in that seat dressed as a clown. Imagine that on Match of the Day.
It would be genius. Just a random clown sitting there next to your boy Ross, just sitting there.
Yeah.
In view of the dugout would be absolutely hilarious. Like, honestly, that would be genius. It would be. But you kind of need them scattered all over the place, but you also need like a little kind of congregation to sit together as well. I think that would definitely stand. I mean, that being said, I think it'd be just. I mean, can you imagine if they're just random clowns all over the state? It would be pretty funny. It would be.
See, Ralph is suggesting guerrilla tactics. Just smuggle in a wig and a red nose, because that'd be enough to be a clown. Wouldn't it?
Why would they stop you though? Why should they stop you? Honestly, like
because they tried to stop balloons because they tried to get them banned as dangerous objects.
Yeah, but wearing a clown outfit is not a dangerous thing, is it? You know, if anything,
they will be by the time they're reviewed. They will be.
Well, I don't know.
Reclassified.
You can't throw plastic noses just in case you put something inside the plastic nose or something. Like, sorry, I'm giving them ideas.
You know what would work, right? A clown outfit, but with Sully's Russian hat as well, because then you're kind of specifically relating it to Sully. So that would be. You got the Russian hat already, Gal. So you're good to go, mate. Yeah, and to be fair, you seem to be well up for this. Like you said it the other day when we were doing a live.
Very up for it.
We're definitely doing this. I was like, are we committed to doing this now? Like, we actually going to do this?
I might buy one of those drones that follows you, just so we can get an aerial shot from both sides of the marauding clowns about about to enter the stadium complex. Wouldn't that be amazing? Fly it low, you're not allowed to fly it high.
Yeah, you'll never get the drone in.
No, you won't get it in. But what you can do is one of those that just sits above you, not one that goes. You know, not something about saying expensive, Alex. Don't be silly. It's me.
See, the problem with the clown thing though is, and I was looking around, as you know, last night I was looking on Amazon, and there seems to be a lot of killer clowns. Killer clowns, I don't think is given the right message, unless you carry, instead of a machete, carrying yourself a big dildo with you instead. You know, I don't know how you're going to balance it out.
Can't all turn up as Pennywise.
No. That'd be scary.
Terrify the kids.
It's supposed to be about a circus. It's not supposed to be about killer clowns, is it? So let's do that. Shoes.
Well,
oh god.
Well, last time I went to a circus, clowns didn't actually dress up like clowns. You know,
what they dress up like? David Sullivan?
Well, no, they had like a white overall on and just a painted white face. Really, that was it. There was no
right,
things like that. So I don't know.
I think clown
aesthetics have changed.
I think the white face paint, a little bit of a little bit of detail. I can get that done indoors, obviously, and then a wig and a nose. Now you can disguise those, right? You can disguise those. I tell you, we've got to do this.
Gary, I've got a picture of you done up as a clown, right? So I'm going to try and get this and stick it on StreamYard so I can share it. Just so
would you?
An idea. Yeah. As soon as you really want, as soon as you're so up for this, I feel like I need to send this around or share it, should I say? So I'm gonna just carry on talking. I'm just going to say.
Yeah, right. Okay. Onto something a little bit more cheerful, right?
That's not cheerful. That's very cheerful. Come on.
No, it's cheerful. We're lifting the mood slowly. You remember when a certain biscuit baron, when he was running West Ham on behalf of his mate, the convicted fraudster over in Goodmanson, I think his name was, wasn't it? So Magnuson Goodmanson. Well, they went broke obviously due to the financial collapse in 2008, and then West Ham were swinging around in the wind, and there were multiple different bidders for the club. One of whom was a West Ham fan who goes on Stop Hammer Time a fair bit as well, called Benji Lanyardo. He tried to take the club over. As a West Ham supporter, with an interest in the business world, Lanyardo once said that he dreamed of leading the line as a claret and blue obsessed child. The opportunity to throw his hat into the ring was one he wasn't going to pass up. He was outbid by Gold and Sullivan in the end, sadly. Magnuson and Goodmanson, they were hit extremely hard by this crisis. So it was like, I think they got it for 80 million in the end. He said, I was in the running nonetheless. He said, I emailed, I showed proof of funds.
Quiet again. Everyone's gone quiet.
Really? Oh no. Where's Chris? Chris, can you hear me?
I can hear you fine, mate. Yeah.
Must be.
Well, I think Alex
has broadband problems again.
I don't know, mate. Dial-up,
No, it's all right. So, where were we? So, I was in the running nonetheless, he said. I emailed in. I showed proof of funds. I had 350 quid at Nationwide branch in Crouch End. And he said some very nice words about Iceland in his email as well. So he wrote to him, he applied. He didn't get a response. But, you know, he could have got it. He could have got it. 350 quid. When you bear in mind Ken Bates bought Chelsea for £1, it was worth a stab, wasn't it?
Definitely worth it.
I read that this morning. It was very good.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Clowns are over now.
Oh, hold up. Clowns aren't over just yet. Wait.
No, clans haven't even started.
Wait. Okay, so like, you know, we could wait until the end. Should we wait until the end?
Well done, Chris. You're amazing. Go on.
I just think this is important. I think this is very, very important that we share this with people about what is the art of possible if we turn up as clowns. So here is what Gary would look like as a clown. There you go, right there. What we thinking? Will you get yourself done up like that, Gary?
See, Chris, I'd do whatever I had to as a clown, but I think my clown costume would be a little bit more stylish than yours. You know, I'm thinking white satin. You know, good, classy, classic clown costume. You know, I don't think the red stuff around the mouth. Yeah, maybe, but you know. So anyway,
children,
it's a lot of effort. Yeah. I mean, that is a lot of effort, isn't it? It's a hell of a lot of effort.
Yeah, no, it is. But it's worth doing. It's worth doing because I think I even had, you know me, I get carried away. I know you find this hard to believe, but I get carried away. And last night I was thinking maybe we should have a clown hotline, like an emergency hotline where you call up when you see like Brady or Sullivan out in the wild and you can summon some clowns to be in the background of every photo. Imagine that. But you need clowns planted all over town, wouldn't you?
Oh, God, that would take some organisation.
Oh, it would. It's beyond me. It's beyond me.
It would be brilliant. Just if you knew where Sullivan was going to be, just have clown just turn up.
Yeah. 0800 clown.
Yeah.
Sullivan. I've seen Sullivan get clown down here now.
I don't know what would be better. Someone running up to him, putting a red nose on him, squeaking it, and then running away, or actually a pie in the face. I mean,
well, that probably classed as assault these days. You have to take it too far, didn't you? Take it too far.
Well, just the red nose then. Stick the red nose on him and just...
Yeah. You'd have to reach down to put the nose on, obviously.
Yes, down there,
yeah.
This is true, by the way. Oh, this is true, by the way.
I'm trying to put it up. You're taking it off.
Yeah. You did say that. You did say you're going to learn to juggle. So we'll all be looking forward to that. Seeing you just behind the dugout with your clown outfit on, juggling. Be fantastic.
I think I'd be a very talented juggler, Chris. I think if I learned to do it properly, if I was taught the right way, I think I'd probably be on 5 balls before you know it. I would.
That could go and veer off into a whole different conveation. That comment that you just made, but yeah, no. I've
made a little note.
Imagine joining the stream just then.
Yeah. Well, the other night was even worse because we had Pete on from Stop Hammer Time, and he at one point said, "Get wood," and me being or got wood, and that was me being juvenile. I had to laugh at it, and I couldn't control it. Right. Well, today Chris said, "Expect wood."
Who said that?
You can imagine what I'm going to do with those 2 phrases, Chris.
Who said what? I never said.
You said expect wood.
When did I say that?
I'm juvenile, Chris. You did say it, and I'm going to play it back.
All right.
Believe me, you said it.
Right, so well, mate, I'll tell you what, if we're winning games, then we can all expect wood, mate, because I'd be happy. I'd be more than happy.
Yeah, so look, just comments. Let's go through a few comments. What you got, Chris?
I just went through some just now, and you took them
got
all
any
down.
more?
No, I haven't, mate. I've been putting them up. It is a good one from Gav. Look, he's got you up. Look, he's changed the profile picture with pen, Gav. Look, it's brilliant. He's gone from Penfold to clown. It's brilliant, fantastic.
As it should be.
What else we got? All right, I'm just going to be skimming through some of these. I will be supporting the boycott purely for the goal of putting pressure on Sullivan to retire and get the owners that will move the club forward. Hopefully, Nuno players will understand the reasons. But I think they do. I genuinely think that they do deep down. They know that we care about the club. We do, and this is for the greater good, right?
Let's loop back and talk about the game briefly for the last few minutes. So, how do you think it's going to pan out? So, let's start with you, Chris.
I think it's going to be a tough game. If you look at Brentford right now, they're going through a real period of transition. I'm going to say a bit like us, but probably not as
but more professional.
Yeah, a little bit more professional. But I think obviously losing, what's his face, Thomas Frank to Spurs, and then getting Keith Andrews in, that's obviously a big change for them. But also in addition to the fact that they've lost arguably what were probably their best players. So they lost Mbumo, they lost Wissa, and they lost Vlecken as well, their keeper, didn't they? So I think they've replaced them with Ouattara from Bournemouth, who actually is a good player, although doesn't seem to have much end product when it comes to putting the ball in the back of the net, but he is a threat, particularly coming from the flanks. I think they lost a bit. Then they sold their midfielder, was it Norgard, to Arsenal as well?
Yeah,
and he was he was a bit of a leader for them, wasn't he? So they've had a bit.
They replaced him with Henderson, didn't they?
Yeah, they've got Henderson there, so they're trying to, I guess, kind of almost reinstate some of that leadership back again. And they brought in Kelleher as well to replace Flecken in goal. But I don't think they necessarily have the same threat, particularly coming from the flanks that they did last season. That being said, they've still got Kevin Sade, who scored against us last season. They've got Ouattara, who can be a handful coming in off the right.
Smooth operator.
Yeah, I think actually that's how his name's pronounced. Yeah. But the one that concerns me is their striker, Igor Thiago, because he was out for quite a lengthy spell last season. He's got into the team this season, and what's he got, like 4 in 6 games, I think, so far. He's got 4 goals in 6 games. And he's like typically everything that you would want in a striker. I'm not saying he's a world beater, but he's strong, he's physical, he can finish. If you watch that goal that he scored against United a couple of weeks ago, I mean, that was one heck of a finish, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he took that on the half volley, banged it into the top corner of the net. So they do have a lot of threats. They do. And again, one thing that Brentford are quite synonymous with, and one thing that we're incredibly weak at, is set pieces, right? In terms of us defending them and them taking attacking set pieces. So that is what worries me a little bit. Yeah, I think again, you look at their results for us. I'm going to look at this now. So where are they at the league at the moment? So they're currently 16th in the league on 7 points. If you look at their form, it's very, very similar to us. So they've lost 3, drawn 1, won 1. So that's exactly the same as us. Exactly the same as us. But then you look at their results, and they beat Villa at home. Right, that's back in August. They've drawn with Chelsea, and they beat United. And then you look at the games that they've lost. So they've lost like. You would kind of say they typically lose against the lesser teams with respect. Right. Beat some of the bigger teams.
That's a result, man.
A bit like. But you say that. Sorry, Alex. You say that. But they've also not won an away game all season yet.
All the signs are good, Alex. Tell us it's true. Go on.
Right. Sorry.
Hello.
Say hello.
Oh,
I'll be out of it.
We've got a concession coming, joining the stream.
Yeah. Yeah, luckily it won't cost her that much. Anyway, sorry, where were we?
Yeah, do you think what Chris said is true? Is it looking good tomorrow? All the signs positive?
I didn't say it was looking good. I never said it was looking good. What are you talking about? I never said that. I
put words in your mouth. Let it go.
Really, you have there.
I said at the beginning of the season that I did think Brentford were going to struggle this season because of all the losses they had. The biggest one being Thomas Frank. Absolutely incredible manager, and he done a fantastic job there. And who they replaced him with, I think, is very much unproven at the moment. Now, they haven't won away from home all season. They do have a threat up front. They do definitely have a threat from set pieces as well, which has been our big weakness this season. But I actually thought that we looked a lot better against Arsenal from set pieces. We looked a lot more organised, and in the second half against Everton. So I think that's been the first thing that Nuno has come in and addressed. And you don't necessarily, and this is what one of the arguments I had with a lot of people when they said, well, we're not going to ever be good at set pieces with the defenders that we've got. You go and look at Nottingham Forest. I watched Nottingham Forest yesterday. Nottingham Forest last season were brilliant defensively. Yeah. Same defenders under a different manager. They're shocking. They're terrible.
It's about being drilled. It's about being drilled and knowing your job, isn't it? And knowing who you're picking up.
Can't defend a set piece. So there's no reason why we can't be better at set pieces with the same players, just under a different manager and the way that they're being the way that they're being instructed to. So I don't think set pieces is definitely a worry, but I think we will hopefully be able to handle their set pieces a lot better than we would have been able to a couple of weeks ago. And we definitely do have a threat going forward when it comes to the Bowen and Somerville. Who's going to start top?
Taking it to drop off. Chris's broadband's giving up the ghost now. At least my one's solid. It'll give up in it. Thank you very much, James Mack. Hi, just wondering if are fans boycotting the Brentford game? We've been talking about it for 40 minutes. Yes, we are boycotting. Everyone pretty much, everyone on this channel, everyone on most other channels, everyone, a lot of season ticket holders that I've heard of are boycotting. It is a personal choice, but it's also the ultimate sacrifice. Really, if you're someone, not the ultimate sacrifice, it's exaggeration, but if you're someone who goes to every game and hates missing games like us, then it's a big sacrifice. So either you want to do that or not. And we heard earlier that Bill Gardner, the guy who's an absolute diehard, Never misses a game. He's missing this game. So thank you, James. Thanks for the €5. What's Ryan saying? There was a charity footballers boxing match last night with Jody Morris v Bentley. Surprised. If you could see two footballers having a boxing match, who would it be?
Oh, can we go for two owners? Can we go for two owners instead? I'll go for Marianakis against Sullivan. That'd be brilliant, wouldn't it?
Oh God, that'd be clash of the. Oh, that'd be unfair.
I would pay for that. I would pay to watch. I'll pay good money for.
That's a great call.
Ringside seats.
Think about two players. So think about your most annoying player and who you'd like to have a boxing match with. Go on.
Right, straight up, Joey Barton's got to be in there. He's got to be in there.
Versus.
Or someone maybe like Roy Keane or Vinnie Jones or Dixie or someone like that.
There'll be someone dirty, isn't it? Someone who's going to not play by the rules.
Give as good as they get. Yeah, I reckon Joey Barton's a dirty little git, so he'll be a bit of a scrapper, wouldn't he? But I'd like to see. I don't know. Joey Barton's got to be in there, but it's who we pair him against. I don't know. What do you reckon, Alex?
Let's put John Terry and Wayne Bridge in a ring. See how that goes. I don't know. It's a difficult. I don't know whether you go for two strong players who would really go for it, or just two very not so strong and just see which one, just see how it went. I mean, sticking someone like Bruno Fernandes in there, who I just think is just such a. I just can't say. I think he's a brilliant player, but
he's an annoyance. He's a moaner, isn't he?
I would just love to see him get his some kind of a boxing match with someone. Who though? I don't know. Cucurella. I think that would be fun. Just seeing people have that temptation not to pull that hair.
Cucurella, absolutely every day of the week, right? He's probably the player that annoys me the most because he always does well against us and he gets away with murder against us. So put dicks on him straight. No, it's the wrong side of the pitch. But anyway, let's pretend. Put dicks on him. Let him get a tackle in early doors to warn him he's there. Right, show him he's there. Like the old days. This is my cousin Paul. Bonds and Redknapp. Oh, grudge match. Imagine that. I mean, there would only be one winner, obviously.
Of course.
But, that's settling old scores, isn't it? Richarlison versus Richarlison as well, versus Fernandes.
Or Richarlison against Antonio because they've got a bit of beef as well, haven't they?
Yeah. Joey Barton v Billy Bremner. Now you won't remember this, you two. Far too young. By the way, he's younger than you as well, even younger than Pete the other night, Chris. So leave it out. You're getting old.
What are you trying to do to me? Right? Yeah.
Joey Barton v Billy Bremner. There was a fight between I think Bremner and Keegan on the pitch in a cup final once, or it might have been a charity shield. Don't know. Deaney versus Winterburn. Well, yeah. I think that fight already happened, didn't it? He just
I saw a podcast with Winterburn the other day talking about Paolo Di Canio, funnily enough, and on his first day, when he turned up on West Ham, apparently they stuck him right next to Paolo Di Canio in the dressing room.
Yeah, I know, it's brilliant.
Could we just do Messi versus Ronaldo?
Messi versus Ronaldo. God, that'd be an interesting fight.
Who comes out as the GOAT? That'd be the final. That'd be it. That'd be the outcome.
Yeah, the final battle.
Yeah,
it would probably be the most watched thing ever in the history of.
It would be. It'd have 5 billion viewers, wouldn't it? You'd have villages in the middle of the undeveloped jungle watching it on some satellite TV. Cucurella doesn't need a clown suit. You're bloody right there, Aaron.
No,
he's already got the hair, isn't he?
No, Aaron, we're not boycotting every game. This is a leg of the process. We're football supporters. We're West Ham fans. We can't watch West Ham games.
I think that's also why we're doing.
That's who it was. Yeah. Fucking
cracking
fight.
Trying different things with the protest as well. We're not always doing the same thing every single week, and I think that's important. So
everyone is different. You've got to keep it fresh. And I'm telling you now, I said this the other night. If you know what's happening, what's planned for the I'm not going to give any secrets away, but if you know what's planned for the march, you will want to be there. It's going to be fucking amazing. Really will be amazing. You will want to be part of it. So make sure whether you go to football or don't go to football, whether you're, if you don't go to football, so boycott ain't really your thing, the sitting ain't really your thing, we've got something for you. It's the march. West Ham fans, old and new, especially the ones who have been turned away from that stadium, turned off by that stadium and the way it's gone, get yourself down there. This is a chance to make some change.
Yeah, West I think the last protest went really well. I think that was a success, and hopefully the next one will be even bigger.
Good
Hopefully.
atmosphere as well, wasn't there, at the last
It
one?
It was. Yeah.
Friendly.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that certainly more than the game. Forgot about the game actually when I was at that protest.
Well,
Totally
yeah.
forgot about it.
It's a bit of a downer. Do you remember
I
trying to
can't-
take Simon into the game? He's like, "No, I'm not going. I'm not going."
Because he had to go through security, didn't he, to get
Yeah,
through or something? Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Well, I think it's been a while since I've actually enjoyed a game at that London Stadium.
2 years probably. I can't remember the last
Yeah.
time. We've won twice this year. This calendar year, we've won twice.
Yeah.
If you want to enjoy a game, go to an away game. That's it. You know, that's the only way you're going to enjoy one.
Yeah. No. Some of the best games I've had over the last couple of seasons have all been away games.
Oh,
yeah.
I think everyone that I can remember in the last couple of years has been a away game. I mean, last year it was Arsenal. That was brilliant. And Man United was brilliant as well, wasn't it? I mean, it's super.
I couldn't get to either of those two. I was at Palace at the beginning of the season. That was fantastic.
That was a good performance. That was when Lopetegui looked promising, actually, wasn't it?
Yeah.
For a minute.
The second half performance, especially like changes made at half time. Very disappointed with the starting lineup. I remember that. But
Yeah.
no,
Oh,
that was
yeah.
No, that was a good away day. A bit of few.
Yeah, so I think we're done now. We're done. So don't forget to sign a petition. The link will be in the description as soon as I put it in straight after this show. Links are already in there to Alex's TikTok channel and to Pete's Stop Hammer Time podcast, who joined last couple of shows. Get subscribed to those. Finally, please subscribe to us or however you watch us. If it's on Spotify, follow us. You know the score. And give the video a like or a little heart or whatever you have to do on whatever channel you're on. But thank you, Alex, for joining. That was fun.
Sorry to interject there real quickly. We haven't done a prediction on the actual game. We said we were going to talk about what we think is going to happen on tomorrow.
Have we not?
No, we haven't.
Good catch, Chris. Good catch.
Yeah, I know.
I
think I know what you think. Yeah. Wow. What about you, Alex?
I think we're going to win it. I haven't been confident about us winning any games all season, but I've just got a feeling that we're going to win it. I think it's not going to be overly comfortable, but I think we're going to see a much better defensive display. I think we'll score a couple on the counter, win the game 2-0. It'll be a nice win. That's my prediction for it. Hopefully,
I have already chosen 2-0 though, Alex, and under the rules, you're not allowed to take the same score. You know what I mean?
You can choose whatever score you want, Alex. Don't listen to this nonsense. You can whatever you predict, mate. You don't have to do different.
3-1, Chris. Yeah, 3-1.
No, I'm not going 3-1. I'm kind of in and out of this, right? I thought maybe a score draw, and then I thought maybe a win, and I said at the beginning of this video, I was thinking maybe we'll get a win, but I do actually think it will be a draw. I do. I'm a bit concerned about Brentford. I mean, the fact that they haven't won away from home this season as well actually bothers me because that could work against us. I actually think that they're probably going to be desperate. Well, exactly. And I think the way that they play, and particularly bearing in mind they are particularly strong on set pieces. I know that we are weak in set pieces. I know there has been an improvement under Nuno, but I think their manager, Keith Andrews, he was a set piece coach, wasn't he, as well? I think he was a set piece coach. And so that's not... Yeah, well, this isn't going to be this isn't going to be sold overnight, the whole, our defensive situation. It's not. And it's going to take time. So I still think we're going to be very much susceptible to actually conceding goals on set pieces. So I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw, I think. 2-2 draw. I think it's going to be a cagey game. I really do.
Bloody hell. You've reverted.
I'm going back to what I'm just going back what I said. I still believe 5 points out of the next 5 games, and it's not good enough, but I think that's what's going to happen. I do.
I'm definitely going unbeaten for the 4 games, at least 5 games maybe.
Unbeaten in 5 games.
Yeah, it's going to be a great run from Nuno. Then the wheels will come off, like they always do.
That.
No, maybe not. Maybe not.
We're going to
anyway, we're one or two injuries away, mate. 1 or 2 injuries away of being in a real dire situation.
That is what scares me. That is what scares me.
Well, how long is Wilson going to last? If Wilson needs to start games, how long is he going to last? Even Deaney said it makes him sad looking at Callum Wilson sometimes because his body's letting him down.
Yeah.
Well, it happens, doesn't it? I get sad when my body lets me down. It happens. It happens in the morning. Yeah, one day it's going to happen to you too.
Not for another 20 years, mate.
No.
I already get a little bit of that. I'm sure it's going to get worse. I
There's
woke up this
plenty more
morning
to
with
come. Don't you worry about that.
completely
Plenty more.
random.
Yeah.
My back was hurting this morning for no reason whatsoever. So
It's the first
it's
sign.
It's
Slippery
started.
slope.
It's started.
Slippery slope.
Alex,
Yeah.
how old are you? Gary says you're younger than me. How old are you?
Way younger.
I'm 39.
There you
39,
go, Chris.
okay.
Don't even try to claim it. 30s.
No comment, mate. He can still say I'm in my 30s. It's so annoying. That's so annoying. I know. It.
Yes. Anyway, unlucky, Chris. So Chris is well down. What pains and aches and pains you got, Chris? Because you're about 7 years on from him, aren't you?
7 years on. Hold up a minute. Why are you aging me? I'm 44, mate. It's fucking unbelievable.
Right, yeah,
7 years.
Five years on.
5 years on, mate.
And what happens
I've got
for Alex in the next 5 years? Go and tell him. He's got a
bad
backache at the moment. What
definitely
else?
bad backs. I've got like I've got
worse.
2 bulging
It's
discs,
worse.
so that's definitely going to happen for no apparent reason. It will just happen. So your back will naturally go. If you're anything like me, your knees will go as well.
Right.
There'll be
Back and
no
knee, right?
cartilage in your knee, and that'll start rubbing, and that'll be painful you walking up and down stairs.
I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful for knees. I do a lot of walking, so I'm hoping that I'm going to. My knees are going to.
You won't be doing a lot of walking at 44, mate.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. But no, I think that's about it. What else? Yeah, I don't know, like headaches and things like that come quite naturally for no apparent reason as well. Headaches is another one.
If it's just random illnesses, I've got that down to a T already.
Oh, fair enough.
You'd be in a better position, Gav, to talk about this, right? I mean, you're 20 years older than me, so you've been through the whole thing, right? So
yeah, I'm a picture of health. I've got no aches and pains at all. I'm absolutely fine. Fucking joking. Both of my elbows are killing me. My elbows are fucking tennis elbow.
Elbows? Oh, really?
Both of them. Yeah. And it ain't through playing tennis either.
Do you reckon that's big because you're in front of a computer and you're kind of like that most of the time?
Mate,
that's what I'm like.
Is that what you're saying? What? Yeah, no, it is.
Boy,
absolutely is.
with the left and the right, mate. Wow, okay.
No, it absolutely is. It absolutely is to do with.
You need to get off all fours,
bloody
mate.
laptop. Yeah. Yeah. Claire from the Isle of Wight. Claire from the Isle of Wight. So, she said last night. She said, "Oh, Alex is coming on. He's over asked from the Isle of Wight. Is she like on the door on the Isle of Wight as well? Is she like checking people on and off? Is that true, Alex? Is that true?"
No, my wife's not. But her mum and dad's live in the Isle of Wight. They moved there. So yeah, they moved there a couple of years ago. So we do tend to go up there at least once a year to go and see my wife's family. So
Claire will be signing you onto the island because she's in charge of security there as well, aren't you, Claire?
I love the Isle of Wight. I think it's a lovely place. It's a lovely place.
No, that's right. But anyway, Claire's double hard. She's been looking after chat. Thank you very much, Claire. Thanks to everybody who's left a comment. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, the Bobby Moore Stand here on YouTube. Hit the bell notification icon and give the video a like. Sign the petition. Link will be going in. Follow or subscribe to Alex's TikTok and also subscribe to the Stop Hammer Time podcast. That's it, really. Apart from if you get us on Spotify, follow that as well, if you wouldn't mind. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Alex.
Always. Thank you for being on.
See you soon. Come on,